Time Crisis 4 arcade version. While the name title on the box was the main title, this is actually going to be Time Crisis 4. It's the arcade version. Yes, this is the only game on this collection that actually is the straight up version from the arcades converted onto a PS3 disc. And whether you like this or not, well, that's up to you. This would be the perfect game for me to use the light gun, but obviously because it doesn't work that well, I would simply just have to use a controller for this one. Now they actually do state on this text that it does not actually reflect real life, so you know you can feel safe about that. Anyway, you can play as one of two guys. So the game properly kicks off at an airport with a cutscene that actually looks quite decent. It's completely empty and it has been once again overrun by army soldiers. For what? I have no idea. So, predictably, it is up to you to try to stop them so that you can, well, anyway, so this game actually features a different style of gameplay. It's the traditional formula, but at the same time it's not. Sure, you still fire and you attack enemies, but you are doing it in the style of waves and a timer. And every time you pass one of these, you get a good score, which will therefore be included in the overall high score whenever the time is right. And so anyway, after the shooty action, the core enemy and the main threat of this game finally appear, and they are these bugs, which I must say looks kind of disgusting. I bet this, if somebody that played this game don't just hate bugs, this will probably bug them off. Anyway, you have to use the proper weapon in order to get them off, and that is this weapon right here. Now, of course, in the stress of it all, I had kind of a difficulty to actually pick the correct weapon. But once you are able to do so, well, it's blasting fun. So after shooting off some of them, you get introduced to another guy. Now this good soldier, which actually explains to you some things about these bugs, and they're basically created. Now they don't really have time to talk much, as they have to continue through, and there's a disembodied voice talking to you from somewhere. Now who the person is, I have no idea, but this is the only one that we have at the current moment that instructs you, so you have to basically accept that. Anyway, then we have the next gameplay style, which is all about hiding behind walls and try to shoot enemies while they're vulnerable. Now, some of them have shields, but you can basically shoot them in the arm whenever it's exposed. And then you also have this section where you have to shoot enemies from several different directions, from left to right. Now, you are waving the analog stick or the move controller left or right in order to shoot them while this door is being opened up. Now, thankfully, this is not unbearably difficult. I would say this is a section which I definitely do stand behind. Unlike the other game where you were constantly trying to shoot enemies from any direction, at least this one you actually are shooting enemies in front of you. Anyway, after beating the very first level, you are now heading outside, and you will actually be airborne in this helicopter. And you gain access to this huge bazooka, which is like the primary weapon from this level. It's actually pretty cool, and thankfully you do not run out of ammo. You actually carry it all the time. Now your mission is to destroy as many of these trucks and helicopters as possible. Now they're moving at a quick speed, and you're probably thinking that you will simply just miss all of them. Now thankfully I don't. Now there is a section that I actually was kind of stressed in once again, and that is like, even though you are zoomed in at it, you are supposed to fire your bazooka at these wheels one at a time. Now, if I'm being so honest, I just sort of feel like both wheels should have been destroyed since it is a plasma bazooka. However, who am I to say? Now, this truck had to be stopped because of them heading to a location not explained. Now it had to be stopped before that happens, and so that it is why you have to stop him. Now after you have beaten the boss, you are getting down on the ground, and this is where another on foot mission begins. Unfortunately, much like on the previous game that I talked about, I lost a lot of lives, which meant I died game over rather quickly. Now, does that mean that the game is bad? Absolutely not. I actually really like this game a ton. It is actually the best on this disc, with the Pirate game coming at second place, and then the actual title game on the box, Time Crisis Raging Storm, comes at last place. Do I recommend playing this? Well, if you can actually get all of the stuff set up, I would definitely recommend this one. If you like light gun shooters, then why not? If not, well, I cannot really say this is a must buy, but who knows? You make up your own mind. You know, this is your own life. Well, that's it for this game review episode, for this trilogy. I will see you next time. Bye bye.